finish off the pulley cover, I'm going to have to make up some kind of a mount up here. Once I've made that mount and I've established exactly where that's going to be, because you know it's got a bit of variation, I can then slot that in behind there to follow where the wheel goes. So just to finish it off, but to finish it off I have to mating plate it. I figure to use the minimum amount of material and make it, which therefore will make it look the neatest, if I run just something behind here and just run it straight to something here and underneath, because it'll look better, straight to something there, and just have a little nut and bolt head just sitting there, and always be on the top side, not see the metal on the bottom, just little things, you know. So I have an issue. I have this thing that needs to have a plate between the two. Now that is a huge void. I was going to thinking of some kind of a nice little transfer trick there, but I don't need it because it's just a big void. So this is what normally sits on there. Plastic, I'll be using that. So I marked it out, and that there on the side here would be sticking out here, just shy of that, and then I can put a bolt and a plate this way, and a bolt into the side of it in this way, and that way it would do that. And I've got to make it slightly wider because the carburetor's got to sit on there, and the carburetor, I wish I had longer arms. The carburetor is going to sit like that, and I can't stretch my arms anymore to show you, but when you see it on there, it looks really nice, really tough. Anyway, so that's where the carburetor is going to sit, and hopefully I can make the whole lot work together with a minimum amount of material. Just sort of do the job. I don't know if you can cut aluminium with a diamond blade, but we'll soon find out. I'll take that as a no. That's the first rough cut, and got to turn that into a swan basically. I'm going to go there like that. That'll do for now. I've got to sand that later on flat on a bit of glass just to make the best mating surface I can, but it's smooth enough to touch. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I've still got I'm drilling and tapping and all sorts of things, a bit of more measuring to go, but it'll do. Had a little problem with my piece I made here. Well, I didn't think of. Well, that fits on there nicely, but I've had to slot these out that way to move the whole lot over this way, because I forgot one little thing. The bolts on the other side for that flange, for that here, they're going to be on this side, and it turned out where I'd planned to put it, they both were right on the line there, so they really would stop it from getting a seal. So I've had to move the whole lot over, and to do that, as I said, I slotted it, and it only just works out like that, just puts that on the outside of it. The first time I can look at it without having to hold it, you know, one arm stretched out. So looking at it, I can still see down there that joiner there for the foot peg is the furthest thing sticking out. So the hardest part sticking out from the motorbike is still the original standard motorbike, so that I think should be okay. I really do like it. It looks tough. There you go, that's full lock. Nothing touches. Everything, oops, where are we? Everything's close. Yeah, but close is good. No, not quite. So close is good. So everything lines up. Still haven't done a lot of the drilling and tapping and stuff like that, but just looking at it, I've just for, you know, the eye. This is like a little bit of a stuff up line I made up here before when I was just grinding it. But see, that's a ridge, it's a ridge, it's a ridge, it's a ridge. If I just get with a file and put an indentation there, indentation there, indentation there, indentation there, leave that one that's got that, indentation there. It won't interfere with anything, but it'll just give it background looks. Just another layer of complication that does nothing. You know, it does nothing, but it just adds background look to it. And the more layers I can make on this, the better it's going to look. So I'll continue with what I'm doing, and I'll put those layers in there. I remember seeing some YouTube guy saying don't wear gloves for a drill press, and I can understand that, but Jesus, that sharp, that stuff. Oh, look at that, I just catch it. Never miss an opportunity. Well, I don't want to hit it any harder than that. Yeah, just a bit of a sand off to make it smooth. I started off with a 400 and ended up with a 1200. I know it looks like it's got scratches in it, but that's a 1200. It's very fine. By the time I've made a gasket for that, that'll finish that off nicely. That's got it. It took a little while to get it just nice, so you can rub your finger down there and just feel it smooth, but it's all done now. So I'll make up some gaskets, and I'll use some Loctite flange sealant both sides of the gaskets, and I'll this is going to be the shape. I made a little template that will sit in there like that, and I'll just drill the hole and bolt it in. So it's just a matter of cutting that out, filing it off, making it smooth, and fitting it in there and showing what it looks like. The bottom one will be similar, but it'll just come slightly different shape. See how that gap there lines across there, and then that gap is largely flush. So that's how it will sit together. Then the fine stuff. I've got it ready now. That's bolted down, this is bolted through, that's bolted through. But the thing is, I haven't got it tight yet because there's a bit of an air gap there. It's slightly off angle. I've had to bend these up and just not quite in the right spot, but you really don't want to force that stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put on a low setting, heat gun, and just warm the whole thing up to make it a little bit malleable. And while it's malleable, just tweak it down home so that Well, that's it, all done. It's tight, you know, it's not going to go anywhere. What I'm going to do is now slot that one down, but that's a simple job. Just slot that down slightly. It'll be completely covered over by that washer, and it'll just follow that pulley wheel, so it'll be hidden underneath there. So that's done for that. It's done, and the carby mount's done as well. So the whole thing is now ready to go, which is, I personally think it looks beautiful. It's just the way that air cleaner is just, aggressive. It just, I don't know, I don't think I could have designed it any better for it. It just looks hungry for air, it just, I love it. So, it's got the job done, and now moving on to the next thing.